So next we're going to cycle to the different party residents. I'll call out your name one by one. Hopefully I don't miss anybody. If I do, I'm sure you'll let me know. Dr. Beach, can you come up to the microphone so the court reporter can hear you, please?
Jill Beach. I just had a couple of questions. I'm never sure who to face. One is the rectory and or the congregation's general building. There was something on one of the plans about it also potentially serving as a residence for people. So I wondered how many people you might foresee, if any, living in the rectory in addition to the houses.
Pass off the microphone too.
I'm sorry. Oh, we. Sorry.
Within the zoning 1704 that describes the House of Worship Rectory, there is one residence for a caretaker, or a minister or someone who might live there. Just one.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. And my last question is, with these houses, will there be the possibility further down the road, so to speak, for further houses to be developed there? Or if somebody has a house, can they then build onto that house? Will there be limits to the size of the houses? Can additions be put on these houses since they're private? And I'm just wondering if the housing area could be expanded in the future.
No, the housing is exactly what it is now and cannot be expanded because 75% of the land will remain in agriculture as part of the agreement under the 1704 planned residential community. So the answer to that is no, there's no expansion on that land. Secondly, the building regulations will determine how much a house can be built out. There's only so much of a house you can build. These lots are approximately 3/4 of an acre, so I believe you can build maybe a 3,000 square footprint, but that would be it. There'd be a limit to what you could build, yeah.
Thanks very much.
Mr. Wylam? He's okay with you guys from here? If you could come up to the microphone, it'd be appreciated so everyone can hear you.
I'd like to know if these structures right here, are these above or below ground?
Which one?
Any of the structures?
No, they might have basements.
And just basements?
Yeah.
Can someone explain to me how we've got to a density of 0.83 residences per acre when the rest of the township has a much higher density requirement?
Well, let me interject if I may.
Or is that somebody else's question?
Oh, no, it's a fair question. What I'd like to make clear to everyone, and we've kind of stated it, but I'll restate it. The application currently before you is a planned institutional community as defined in the zoning ordinance that was in effect in the year 2000 when we made the application. If you have questions with regard to what are the rules and regulations with respect to a planned institutional community, I suggest everyone make reference to section 1704.12 of the zoning ordinance in effect at that time. I've got a copy in front of me. I'd be happy to make copies of that section available to anybody if they have trouble locating that. But it's a fair question. Those are the rules and regulations that we're following in proposing this development as you see it.
And what was the section again?
Yes, ma'am. 1704.12.
Just a note for the record, if you look under subsection H of that provision, that's what spells out the density that's permitted under a planned institutional community.
I've got a question for the board. Were any of the board members at that time, back in 2000?
Just to note, Right now it's time for questions of the applicant. The board is essentially sitting as the judge of the application. To give you clarification, no, not back into that.
And the last one for Mr. McGinty. You had mentioned it is a nonprofit organization. Do you have access, would you be able to present such evidence from the IRS 501c3 letter?
Sure.
Mr. Emmel, do you have any questions for the witness, sir?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I have a couple of questions. One thing, I understand that the road, Temecula Road, might be used only occasionally, but the road is not in good condition. We've been trying to get the thing, it's very rough in many areas, and we've been trying to get it redone for a few years now. So far we've had patches, just a few patches since it's been put in originally. And all we wanted was maybe in some areas we did do a little bit of it, and within a few hundred feet, the patch would go and it would stop. You're back in the old road. It's breaking up again. There's a lot of truck turnarounds and stuff taking place back there now, and it's busting. The road originally was right on top of the soil, and it's not going to be capable of maintaining much traffic. Now, I understand that what we said is it's going to be just a sometime road. Right now, my wife almost had 2 accidents on that road because we have a home up there where they're treating, I don't know, people that have difficulties mentally and physically. And we have a 25-mile limit on the road now, but we have some of those people coming back and forth to work, and they don't even know what 45 is, I think, on that road. And you can't get off. I find myself giving ground all the time when I'm just trying to leave my house. Because if somebody coming at you, you either go aside or it's not really 2 lanes. So
Sure.
that
Well, I don't mean to interrupt you,
Yes.
but if you have a question for that witness, I would really appreciate it coming sometime soon.
Yes, the township was having a little trouble getting enough money to do anything with that road. I understand. I talked to the road supervisor and things like that, and he says, I'll help you out if I can. But the money doesn't seem to be there. And the other thing I have a little concern about.
So Mr. Emmel, is your question to the applicant, do you have any plans, or can you kind of describe your plans for Temecula Road?
Temecula Road, that road is a stone road from our cul-de-sac that is an emergency road, only to be used in case there's a fire or an ambulance, and the main entrance road is blocked. They would use that road, so hopefully we'll never get to use that road. And there certainly won't be very little traffic unless there's an emergency in the community.
And one other question of that. I understand that from the testimony, that's going to be on-site well,
Yes.
on-site soil. And you know what? Wells that have been dug around in our area, and they're on the bottom lands, some of them, they're down 300 feet and more, 400 feet, 500 feet, and they don't have any water. I was lucky. For some reason, I'm on top of the hill, and I hit a pretty good well. I had to. I was raising some animals, horses, for a while, and now I had some goats and things like that. And they take a good bit of water, along with the family. And I don't believe that those homes will be successful in on-site having a well that'll support each one of those homes. I don't know how it's going to happen. And another thing that bothers me is the on-site sewers. I said, I understand that water can be rejuvenated, but I wouldn't want to drink it. And I don't think that that is going to work. Maybe you have heard that it will support the wells, but I think there's gonna be a lot of trouble getting that water into the zone. That's all I have.
Mr. Ginty, are you gonna present other witnesses tonight as to the capacity for water and or sewer?
Well, again, those have to be permitted by the applicable regulatory agency, and those processes will be put in place. We have done some initial examination, you're